Big Bad Toy Store has all of the latest and greatest kaiju collectibles, so evolve your collection and head on over to the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen today. Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello collectors, it's Steven here and welcome to another unboxing video! Yes. Happy New Year's Eve. Hopefully this will be up on time. To all of you, today we're going to be unboxing the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla from the movie Godzilla. It's the 2014 Godzilla, which kicked off the Monsterverse. Really neat. So normally I would do the 360 spin view with the box, but unfortunately this is a long boy. Criticism of that I'll talk about in a second. So I really couldn't realistically have it up on my turntable and get it going. So we're just going to have to do it this way, but that'll be fine. So this just came out a little bit ago. There were some folks who did get their hands on it already. You know, mine just recently came in, and like I said, it is out now. US distribution will be coming, hopefully within the next month and a half, probably 2 months, but with an MSRP of about $50 and import sites charging about $75 from where I can see. You know what, honestly speaking, it's probably going to be best just to wait for US distribution at this point. So that is what I would do at this time, you know, if I were not in the reviewer's shoes. So with that being said, Godzilla 2014 is finally here from Hiya, Lord and Savior, right? No, not always. So there's been some updates to the prototype that we're seeing here on the box. That is no longer representative of the final figure, which I've got my own thoughts on that. Not a huge fan of that. They definitely should have updated the picture, so this way folks knew a better barometer of what they were getting, but nevertheless, we're going to jump on into this lug. So the front of the box, interestingly enough, the sort of style guide that they had for the 2014 movie was more so red and not blue. As we continued on to the Monsterverse for the Godzilla aspect of things, we did have the blue integration, but the original, the OG Monsterverse, we were blue. We weren't blue, we were red. We were red, all right? The back of the box, you know, it's just kind of straightforward. We got another shot of Godzilla, and we can clearly see the teeth. We can clearly see the teeth, okay, folks? We can clearly see the teeth. Not too terrible. You know, where they're visible, and I'm gonna zoom in, right? And some information about Hiya. And the top and the bottom and the sides of the box are basically just going to be a continuation of that style guide and all of that fun jazz. You know, there's some Chinese in there for all of the legal mumbo jumbo and stuff, but you do get information about who produced it, product name, and so forth in English, along with Hiya's social media. So now let's go ahead and make sure I'm all synced up, and let's go ahead and open this beastie up. I do find it interesting that after some of the criticism I have about like those sticky circles, they have switched over to more so proper tape. Not saying it's cause and effect on my end, but it's just an interesting correlation. So let's go ahead and open them up. So I don't think there's any tape on the clamshell, but in regards to the cause and effect, it has happened quite a few times in the past. So real quick, box size. You know, I'm totally fine with protecting the product. As I get older, and you know, you sell stuff, you store stuff, bigger isn't always better. And I really feel like, you know, we could definitely better allocate space in here. Like maybe we can pop Godzilla's tail off, have it behind him, integrate the fists better, and like yeah, I don't know. Size, you know, we don't really need that big of a box, do we? But anyway, for the somewhat better final layout here for the product, we do have accessories. We do have these fists, which were not solicited, which is not a problem. It's good. But again, we'll talk a bit more here in a second. So that's the top of the tray there. Okie dokie. So we do get left and right fists. I'm just going to check right here just to... Oh boy, those are... No, you stay there. You stay there. Okay, so those are left and right fists. Okay, folks. So we do have some protective plastic on Goji here. So let's go ahead, just for fun and games. Pause. Does anything fall off of Godzilla when we take him out of the box? Oh! Let's continue. Clamshell, tray, whatever. Oh, look at that. Not a thing. Okay. So this, again, is not essentially what Hiya Toys advertised. It's actually a little bit better. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Note I said a little bit, but okay, so apologies. So it looked like from shadows that there was no other colors than white. But anyway, so the eyes, he is looking straight ahead, which is really cool. You know, the eyes are going to be different than what they advertised, but you know, Grandpa Goji's got some dentures there. That's really cool. And it's a non-issue because spoilers, even pinless figures actually still have hinges. They're not actually pinless. They're just hidden. Folks are losing their minds over this pin, which is still visible. It's just kind of smoothed over, you know. But, you know, it is what it is, right? As the kids say. So here's a look at the dry brushing that we have just real quick. We'll do a nicer look at the articulation just as a quick rundown here, right, kids? Okay. So just going over the figure, there are a lot of good details so far that we can see. Lots of good wash to the figure. You know, from what I understand, the initial sculpt that they advertised was actually based off of one of the render models that they had for the movie, but it wasn't the final one. I don't know. There's a lot of minutia. So what did they change from the initial prototype? Well, this is basically a second version of the G14. This isn't the original. So what you'll notice here is it is very, ooh, hand popped off, but that's okay because it's supposed to do that, kids. Come on. There we go. So he has double jointed arms, right? And real good, nice double jointed knees, which I still need to work with a bit, right? This style that he has was not advertised, but this is shown in the heat ray version, the atomic breath version, that was in one of the SDCC displays. And then one of the subsequent displays, like at one of the festivals or so forth. Right? McGap. So here's the thing. If you want to go ahead and pick this up, you definitely can. From what I've seen, you know, there definitely are some drawbacks for $50. You know, some acceptable stuff, some not. Softer plastic, you'll have that. But just keep in mind they are cooking a heat ray version up. So will it ever see release? We don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Initial impressions. Tamashii Nations on their first go around with the newest and greatest Godzilla back in 2014. NECA with their first attempt at a Godzilla. Still holds up relatively nicely today, but it just wasn't exactly what collectors were looking for the Hiya. This was generally the ballpark of what collectors were expecting, and I need to fiddle it with this some more. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out this unboxing. I've got a lot to work on coming into early 2025, and I'm excited to share it with you. I think this review will be interesting for some of you because I know that this figure is a little divided for some, but you know, we've got a bit to talk about here, right? We've got a little bit to talk about. We've got a little bit to show. And of course, you know, we're going to have to ring that bell. And I still have my NECA and my Monster Arts. Okay. All right. So thank you again. Have a happy new year. Love you all. And I'll catch you in the next video.